If I knew how to make my own thumbnails for these videos, I would definitely have one that is now just the obligatory picture of me doing something like this. Because at this point, you just gotta. My stepmom just looked at me like I was insane because I just grabbed 3 butter knives and then was like, peace out. Okay. Welcome back, people of everywhere, for another session of R&R, and this time we are going to be talking about the newest installment in the X-Men franchise, Logan. And as far as people who put reviews up on YouTube for movies, I'm probably the last one to do it. But since only about 6 people watch this channel anyway, I think I can get by with it. Logan is, I believe, to be the 9th movie in the franchise, and it is also the last time that Hugh Jackman will be portraying the character, reportedly. And it is directed by James Mangold and stars Hugh Jackman, Patrick Stewart, and I believe her name to be Dafne Keen. It's spelled, I think it's Dafne. If it's not, I apologize. This movie starts at about 6 years after where we saw Days of Futures Past end in the present. Now, unless you're caught up in the X-Men movies, that sentence is going to sound like absolute garbled nonsense. But some of you know exactly what I just said. Where this movie picks up, we see an old, broken, battered, and beaten Logan who is hiding out in Mexico going by the name of James Howlett, which is his original name. And he's keeping Professor X under wraps and just force-feeding him medicine because Professor X has a brain disorder which causes him to have seizures, which basically just jacks up everything around him. And then comes X-23. We'll get into X-23 in a minute, but first I wanted to talk about the R rating in this movie. Before I saw it, I was a little worried about how it was gonna go, because with Deadpool, they showed that it could be done, but I wasn't sure if they'd be able to do it for a second time. And with a character like Wolverine, everybody has been wanting an R-rated version of this character ever since it first appeared. And I gotta say, Fox has done it twice now, showing that comic book movies can be good, even if they're rated R. I was worried that there was going to be like an overuse of just blood squirting out like a Tarantino movie, and that they were just going to be dropping F-bombs every other second just because they could. But they actually did a pretty decent job of making it all work and putting it all in there seamlessly. So when Logan starts spouting off swear words to somebody, it makes sense because at this point, he's been alive for I think about 200 years. He just doesn't care anymore. Plus he's got to take care of Professor X, which is stressing him out even more. And as far as the violence goes, it is everything we have wanted from Wolverine this whole time. It takes almost no time at all for it to kick right in, and he's severing limbs and stabbing people in the forehead. As soon as it kicks off, almost the entire audience applauded because we were just so ready to see this side of Wolverine, which we only got brief glimpses of throughout the entire franchise. I also have to give it up for James Mangold for making another really good-looking Wolverine movie. He was the one in charge of The Wolverine, which was the second solo Wolverine movie, and in this one he proves again that he can make a good-looking movie. And I just have to talk about the character that everybody wants to talk about, and that is X-23! I'll stop doing that now. Her real name being Laura, she was a part of a group of kids who had experiments done on them to give them mutant powers. And she got the powers of Wolverine, and oh my god, this little girl kicks ass! When she just starts going around and just slicing people up with a blade coming out of her foot, her kicking back and stabbing him in the head. It really is the greatest thing I've ever witnessed in my life. It was a life-changing experience. Really, I guess the only flaw I could have with this movie is that the villain in the form of, I don't even remember what his name was. That's how really kind of boring of a villain he is. The guy who looks like a hillbilly Draco Malfoy with the robot arm. He was just kind of there. Like, he was that standard villain that just kind of shows up at the end of a battle and then watches Logan drive away and is like, "Rats, I missed him again." That was really his whole thing in this movie. But I can almost forgive that completely just because of how good the rest of the movie is. Especially the chemistry between Logan, Professor X, and Laura. These three just make the movie. They really do. Especially Logan and Professor X bickering back and forth. It really caused a lot of funny moments that I wasn't expecting, but was happy to see. So, with all of that in mind, I'm gonna have to give this movie an A. I said I wasn't gonna do it again, but I lied. So, at this super late point in time, have you seen Logan? If you cared about it, you probably have by now. And if you did, what did you think about it? Comment down below, let me know what you thought. And do me a favor and like, subscribe, and share this around so that I can see you next time.